Hey everyone, U.S. immigration lawyer Michael Ashoori here, and in today's video, I basically wanted to briefly talk about the importance of a business plan for your E-2 visa application. So as a quick overview, the E-2 visa is an investor visa where somebody can invest in a U.S. business, and assuming they make that investment and satisfy the various E-2 visa requirements, they could get a visa to operate their business in the United States. It's a wonderful option for entrepreneurs. Now, one of the key documents when you're applying for an E-2 visa is your business plan. Your business plan does a lot, and we'll go through that in a minute, but it's challenging to overstate the importance of a business plan for an E-2 visa application. Now, one of the requirements for an E-2 visa is to show that you've made a substantial investment in a US business. What does the business plan do? It provides a breakdown of what you've invested in. It'll actually, in many cases, have a chart where it will go through the total investment amount, and then we'll provide a breakdown of, for example, at the top, it'll say $120,000 invested. And then it will say a breakdown of what that $120,000 went to: $5,000 for insurance, $10,000 towards lease payment, $20,000 towards marketing, etc. In one regard, the business plan will help to establish what the investment was made in. The business plan is one document of many documents that will be used to demonstrate that your investment was made, such as bank statements, receipts, etc. But the business plan is a helpful document to demonstrate that a substantial investment was made. Now, back to the E-2 visa requirements. Another requirement to qualify for an E-2 visa is that your business cannot be marginal. A marginal business, to simplify it, it's basically a business that's small. It's providing for the E-2 investor solely. And what does the business plan do for an E-2 visa? It provides financial projections. So in many cases, the E-2 business plan will provide a 5-year outlook with pro forma numbers on how the business will perform. And that business plan and those projections are largely used in many cases to help establish that the business is not marginal. So from that standpoint, the E-2 business plan is also very critical. Now, another thing that an E-2 investor wants to do and wants to make clear in their E-2 application is that they're going to be able to be successful in this business, that they as an individual have the skill set that will ensure that they will be successful in this endeavor. Now, along with the resume, the E-2 business plan will also oftentimes have language explaining the background of the investor and what skill set they have to achieve success in this business. One more thing, going back to the E-2 visa requirements, the E-2 visa is for somebody that's going to be investing in an active business. So the E-2 visa is not for somebody to go purchase a house and rent out the house and to be a passive investor in some sort of a passive endeavor. To qualify for an E-2 visa, somebody has to invest in some sort of an active business. Now, what does the E-2 business plan do? It goes through in detail what the business is. For lack of a better term, it goes through the business plan. What type of business is this person investing in? What is the service or the product that this business provides? And through that, it makes clear, assuming it was done properly, that the business is an active business. And so as you can see, we've just gone over several of the E-2 visa requirements. The E-2 business plan, this critical document, incorporates so many of those requirements into the document itself. Through its financial projections, it helps to provide evidence that the business is not marginal. Through the investment breakdown and the investment summary, it explains that a substantial investment was made. It explains what the E-2 investor invested in and how they spent their investment funds. The business plan also shows the background of the E-2 investor in many cases and why they're qualified to operate this business. And on top of that, it goes through what the plan is for this business, what type of service or what type of product is going to be provided, and what is the plan moving forward, and what is the marketing strategy, etc. The purpose of this video was to show you how critical an E-2 business plan can be to the overall success of an E-2 visa application. Hope you found this video helpful. Hope you found this information informative. If you know anybody that could benefit from this information, please feel free to share with them. As always, thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you on the next video.